There's music in there somewhere, guys.
Oh, you can't hear the music. Oh,
There
well,
it is. We found it. We found it. It's intermittent. We'll figure it out before tomorrow. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to our post show live stream. So much going on. Quite an episode. Quite a finale. Finale night. Um, and yeah, we'll wait for a few of you guys to pop in here before we start talking. But yeah, it's yeah, that was a finale. If you have not watched that episode, go do it.
yeah, go do it. Go do it. Don't wait. Don't wait. Pirate it just immediately. Damn, to hell with to hell with paying hard-earned cash to support Adult Swim or HBO Max. Is it? I don't know if it's on there yet.
I don't know if that's on yet. Yeah. All right, people rolling into the chat. So this is the spoiler warning. If you're watching this after the fact, if you haven't watched the episode yet, big spoilers in this one. So make sure you go watch this episode because we are going to be talking about it for a little bit, just a few minutes. I want to start off by saying if you're just coming in to chat, we understand that there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And honestly, it's been on our hearts and our minds all weekend, and we definitely don't want to downplay anything that's happening right now. So we'll get in and out real quick with a few thoughts about this episode, but we are gonna hang on to most of it for the actual podcast tomorrow night. But yeah, happy to see a few of you guys already very fired up in the chat.
Yeah.
Every bit the fanverse orgasm I wanted it to be, says Siredark. Yeah. Everything is kind of terrible right now. Brandon, your thoughts?
Just as D Squeeze mentions here, what we missed was Evil Morty. What trash writers, what piece of shit trash writers don't include everything that I want out of a season finale. That's my biggest problem with it. And for that reason alone, I give it the lowest. Probably it's my least favorite episode
Least favorite episode ever.
Series of the series. No, I mean it was good. I liked that they brought back classic tales. The last time I was at Tampa Bay Comic-Con last year, leading into it, and a couple of the questions were about Clone Beth and what that meant, and how, if they were ever going to address that again. And obviously at that point I'm like, I don't know if they're going to ever bring it back, but let's have the conversation. There's some good theories about it. In my opinion, was always, it doesn't matter which is the clone and which isn't, because they're both sharing, they're both Beth, philosophically. But I like that they addressed some of that, and how he felt about it at the end is that's a topic of discussion for tomorrow. But
yeah, the clone question sat on the minds of a lot of people for almost 2.5 years, as we sat around waiting for season 4 to start. And there was maybe a little bit of like frustration with it not being referred to much in this season, and not a lot of like, okay, well, what is the deal? Like, what happened to Beth? Like, and so for them to just come right out with it in this episode and be like, okay, like, you got to see one side of Beth all season, the side that chooses Jerry, that chooses to be with Jerry, that loves Jerry and wants to have the family together. And meanwhile, you had other Beth that is just like going full Rick out in the universe. And now they bring them together, and instead of resolving it, they're like, okay, this is the next move is we take both sides of Beth and personify them and make them a part of the show. I love the possibility that that's where we will move in season
Yeah.
5, and really kind of shuffle the family dynamic completely. So that's I'm all in with that.
Yeah. Much in the same way that at the start of season 4, well, at the end of season 3, and then going into season 4, it was going back to basics and going back to it's about the family and where it's going. And yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see to find out some more about that. But yeah, I we got a lot to talk about, and a lot that I want to explore further. And, I'm not a philosophy major, but I like I have thoughts on that discussion. Um, over in Reddit, some folks were talking about let's see, top season two's finale. Yeah, that's ooh, Tammy is gone. Tammy getting
Tammy
uh,
got in this
yeah,
one,
Tammy
yeah.
got um
And Bird Person is back, so to speak, with Phoenix Person. Very very epic fight scene, as Philip Marks is mentioning. Um, and yeah, the nods to Star Wars, but it didn't feel overly like Star Wars based. It just it took notes. But yeah, in the end, Rick pointing out that he is a terrible dad, but a pretty good friend, and that he is trying to bring back Phoenix Person in some way, shape, or form. Also, not seeing Squanchy proper, but the yodel, if you will, to Squanchy
oh yeah.
in the beginning of the episode with Beth,
Yeah.
her own Squanch pal at the beginning. It was pretty cool to see. This one's gonna take a couple of rewatches to fully unpack everything, I think. But in terms of going big on a finale, I definitely think they pulled through with that.
Yeah. This was definitely, you know, coming from the never Rick and Morty in the story train and just uh, throwing in fans' faces like all this stuff could have happened. This isn't what happened. This isn't going to happen now because you asked too much of us, or maybe the Adult Swim uh, asked too much of them, and then to show up at the end with this episode being like, yeah, we didn't give you those stories, but we still have some stories to give you that you're asking that not maybe not stories you're asking for, but the stories that we want to tell in with regard to those aspects.
Yeah.
So not throwing away, but we're going to do it our way, not your way.
Yeah, and like I liked their way. I like what's going on. Yeah, we didn't get everything back, every question answered. You mentioned before we went live, you asked, is this the only serialized episode from the season? I think so. I mean, I think there are, bits that have trickled through or things have been mentioned, but this was the first episode really that was like, it you have to have watched everything else to really appreciate it, and it doesn't really stand by itself. This is not a vat of acid episode. But yeah, lots of great things. The way Morty and Summer end up working together, like I thought a lot of that invisibility belt stuff was gonna be a throwaway, but it kind of works out. It's the way everybody contributed in this episode, to include Jerry and his puppet skills. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's really epic. I
Yep.
enjoyed it, and I don't know, I think it sets us up nicely for a 5th season.
I would agree with you, Travis. I want to not this. No, I definitely agree with you. um, and yeah. Tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's about uh 5 extra rewatches of this episode, so we can continue bringing some kind of content, some kind of Rick and Morty content. Which, by the way, tomorrow is our 100th episode of the actual podcast. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We'll have some minor announcements, not spectacular announcements.
Yeah. We'll do a
we're not
couple things differently.
we're not going to be official tomorrow, nothing like that. But yeah, we look forward to that. And yeah, tomorrow it is. So join us tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Yeah, I cut you off. 9 p.m. Eastern. That's Monday night. We will talk about this episode in length. Make sure if you have thoughts about the episode, maybe you're watching this after it has gone live, share that stuff with us at Rick and Morty Pod. Send us an email, RickandMortyPodcast@gmail.com. We want to talk about your thoughts on this episode. Yeah, we're gonna probably call this here. Thank you guys so much for staying up late and joining us. Send us those comments. Stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow.
Yes, I would play music, but it wasn't working.
It's always so weird. All right. Bye, guys. Bye. What's it say? Bye.